Merry Christmas, church family. It's so wonderful to be in the holiday season again, surrounded by lights, warmth, the company of friends and family, and the reminder of the greatest gift of all, Jesus. His birth changed the course of history, and we're part of that ongoing story right here in San Diego. We're excited to share some incredible God stories of 2024, the moments where heaven collided with earth through your time, actions, and generosity. We'd like you to meet our friend Curtis. If there's one thing he knows for sure, it's that his story is far from over, and God has so much more in store for him.
My second year of college is when I decided that it would be time to venture out and drink or party. I started losing a lot of friends because they were graduating, moving on, and I was just continuing to party a lot. I ended up moving to San Diego. During that time, I met my wife in the grocery store. She's been my boss.
Ever since, to be clear.
We started our catering company. We would do these events and we would be able to pull them off, but that car ride home, it just started becoming hard. It just was hard. You know, alcohol is cunning, baffling, and powerful, and the chains that were on me started to become heavier and heavier, and I was getting locked away. And we went into the hospital, and they ran tests on me, and they had told me that, you know, Curtis, your liver is getting to the point of cirrhosis.
The doctor literally looked at Curtis and said, if you take one more drink, you could die. And I just had this realization that it didn't feel like a choice. That's not a healthy person's reality. That's not somebody who's gonna get out of that by themselves. He needs something else.
In 2022, there was a man, his name is Michael, who goes to CRB, and he had mentioned that he wanted me to go with him. The Curtis inside of me that was locked away, he heard a message and he heard worship, and I could still feel that feeling of just being trapped and being I'm never gonna be able to stop drinking. I just got on my knees at the side of my bed and I asked God, I just said, God, I can't do this anymore. I need you so much. The next thing you know, her best friend is coming into the home and saying, you know, Curtis, you're leaving here tonight. You need to let them come home and be in a safe home for them. I ended up leaving that night, not knowing what God was setting up for us in our lives. The next morning, our friend Angie, she woke me up and said, you know, Curtis, your wife wants to see you. The only way you can go home, though, is if you breathe into this breathalyzer. And I remember just thinking, all I want to do is go home. All I want to do is go back. She held the breathalyzer out, and I took a deep breath, and I just remember seeing all those zeros, and it hit me. It hit me. I felt chains coming off of me. I felt some form of relief because I had never felt that way, and it was so powerful. And so I went home and met my wife out front. It was the first time that in 2 or 3 years that I was able to get close to her because I was sober in that moment. She said, I have a place that I want you to go to. I finally told her, okay, you know what, I could be away for 30 days. I could be away from my family for 30 days. And she said, it's actually 60 days. And I'm like, okay, now I can't do it. And by the third day being there, they gave me the keys to be the head cook there. And I got to start going in at 4 in the morning and start making breakfast for the guys. And I just found so much love in this kitchen and so much time with God and peace. The one thing that I really was looking forward to was coming back to CRB. I actually ran into Michael and got to tell him that I was 2 months sober.
His faith has truly brought him back and held him here. And it went from being like, I'm okay with death, to I want to talk about what we're going to do with our finances for the future, and what that looks like for us and the kids. And I'm just so thankful that there is a future, because there wasn't one for us anyways.
This breathalyzer represents something that I used to look at with so much guilt and shame. This thing used to weigh over 1,000 pounds to me, 10,000 pounds to me. I hold this now as victory. It doesn't weigh anything to me. We're able to see the light in all the darkness, because it is how we recover.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. I just love being a part of a church where there's stories like Curtis's story being told. And I've gotten the opportunity, I know you've gotten the opportunity to get to know Curtis a little bit, and just knowing his story, that he's in a moment of utter despair. His wife's in a moment of utter despair, and the Lord finds him, and through the Lord's grace, pulls him out of a pit. And it's really what Christmas is about. It's about God coming to us and bringing us hope when we don't have any hope.
Yeah. It's amazing. Curtis's story is so close to my heart in another way. There was a friend of mine who was not coming to church. He wasn't really feeling like God was important to him. And he began to come to our church, and one day was walking in and bumped into Curtis and said, "What are you doing here?" Because he had met him from a different social event. And I think it's amazing to think about what God can do through the local church when, of course, we just watched Curtis's story and what God radically did, and watched how his story runs into another guy at our church who's exploring God, and these two men. And it is hope, and I love this passage in Isaiah 9, and a lot of us remember this certainly this time of year. But for to us a child is born, a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called, and I love this, Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Prince of Peace. I love that, just to see that story we just saw, and my friend told me, I bumped into this guy, and these two men who are finding radical peace in their life because of the hope of Jesus.
What's crazy to me about this passage, too, Josh, is it's 700 years before Christ comes, and it's the worst moment in Israel's history. The southern kingdom has gotten themselves in a bad situation because of a bad king, and they know that war is looming. They know they're about to be invaded, and they are in utter despair. There's some faithful remnants of people there who are still following the Lord, but the king isn't, and a lot of the people aren't, and so judgment's coming. And God says, listen, I want you to know in your worst moment, hope is going to come. That's cool. And you don't know when, you don't know how, and you don't know the pathway that God's going to provide it. But like Curtis's story, God's always going to show up.
I'm assuming anybody that's watching this right now can say there's something in their life in which hope and peace hasn't come yet. And that's why we pause for a minute and just say, look, we don't know what's going on in your life, and you're hopefully sitting with somebody that you love, or by yourself, and you're listening, or with your family, and whatever's going on in your life. I love what you just said, man. Hope is on the way. Peace is on the way. And if you watch Curtis's story, or my friend that was in the church, hope and peace is on the way. And that's a message we want to say to you and your family. It's amazing to sit back and just think right now, maybe even think aloud or share with your family. What is it that you need to be praying for? What are you asking God for? God, we need hope in this. God, we need peace to be on the way on this. And this is a season where we can gather with those that we love and have these conversations.
This passage also says, everlasting Father. And it's just that reminder in those moments of life where you feel like you're not being fathered. You feel like you need somebody to come to you and pull you out of despair. God's always fathering you.
That's right.
The scriptures say that he's the father to the fatherless. So even if your earthly father has abandoned you, God, your heavenly Father, is walking alongside of you in every moment. And like Josh said, this is a season where we want peace. We need to know that God is with us. And that's the entire message of Christmas. Emmanuel, God is with us. He's fathering you. And peace and hope are on the way.
The glow of the moon is in the sky. The stars dance across the desert dry. The world's still and waiting for the dawn when hope was born. The grace of the Father had a plan. The place of his Son in Bethlehem. No one knew the greatness of this child when hope was born. So we sing glory, glory to the God Most High. Peace on earth you will provide. We sing glory, glory to the God Most High. When heaven met earth that night, hope was born. While seasons they may come and go, a child brought a timeless victory. The star in the sky while the angels sing high to Jesus, our newborn King. 'Cause we sing glory, glory to the God Most High. Peace on earth you will provide. We sing glory, glory to the God Most High. When heaven met earth that night, hope was born. Your glory revealed from the start. When heaven took earth and claimed my heart, and love undeserved rescued me when hope was born. Your glory revealed from the start. When heaven took earth and claimed my heart, and love undeserved rescued me when hope was born. So we sing glory, glory to the God Most High. Peace on earth you will provide. We sing glory, glory to the God Most High. When heaven met earth that night. So we sing glory, glory to the God Most High. Peace on earth you will provide. We sing glory, glory to the God Most High. When heaven met earth that night, hope was born.
Thanks for tuning in. You are a gift, and we're excited to keep hearing the incredible God stories that come from your investment in our mission to bring heaven to earth as we combat poverty and raise up the next generation of Go First leaders. You can join us in our goal to raise $2 million to fuel our mission in 2025 by visiting crb.gives. We'd love to see you at one of our Christmas Eve services at any of the times below. And remember, God has a gift for you in every moment this December. Take the time to slow down, take a breath, and see all the blessings God has given in this season. Merry Christmas.